Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It is June 18th, 2025, and today I'd like to talk about choosing the best fuel for your gasser RC helicopter, and researching and finding the best oil to mix with your gasoline for your gasser helicopter. There's always a lot of debate in regard to which fuel to use. Some guys don't worry about it too much. They just use pump gas from their local gas station. Myself, I prefer not to do that because gasoline at the pump has ethanol in it. I'm going to start off talking about the gasoline first. Currently, my favorite gasoline is by VP Racing. It's a VP small engine fuel, and the big advantage of using this is it is ethanol free and it is 94 octane. So with pump gas, the problem that people run into is with the Walbro carburetors is ethanol is very hard on gaskets, and if you have a rubber gasket, it's going to harden that. It's going to become brittle and hard like plastic, and you're going to get an air leak, and your engine's going to start running inconsistently, and you're most likely, depending on how much you fly, you're most likely going to have to rebuild your carburetor and or at minimum replace your gaskets every year. And I believe it also has a tendency to harden your fuel line as well. Now, I guess probably 7-8 years ago, maybe not even that far back, I was using Coleman lantern fuel. It's just a camp fuel. They call it white gas, and guys on Run Rider, really sung its praises, and I'm not sure if it actually shows. It probably does somewhere, the octane, but its octane rating is extremely low. I'm wanting to say maybe even as low as like 50 octane. So there's not a performance advantage whatsoever. If anything, using the white gas like this degrades your performance. But the big advantage guys were talking about is when they have their gasser helicopters in their basement, it doesn't stink up their basement like regular gasoline. Of course, I've never had that problem, and I have a few RC helicopters, and I don't have any bad gasoline smell in my basement. I stopped using the Coleman lantern fuel. The thing I like about it is it smells like kerosene when it burns, and I fly real helicopters, and the turbine exhaust from real helicopters, pretty much smells like kerosene. It's like a real sweet smell. And stealing that line from the movie Apocalypse Now, I always joke I love the smell of jet fuel in the morning. So saying napalm in the morning. But anyway, I digress. So when I was in the Army down in Louisiana, Fort Polk, there were some gas stations that advertised ethanol free or no ethanol gasoline, but I was in the trucking industry for 10 years, and I had conversations with guys who drove the tanker fuel trucks, and more than once those guys have told me that they don't have any special tanker trailers for the non-ethanol gasoline. So in other words, they may be hauling ethanol gasoline one day, and the same tanker is filled with so-called non-ethanol gasoline the next. And they may or may not drain all the old fuel out of there. So you're always going to get a certain amount of ethanol, even if it's purportedly non-ethanol gasoline. So it's your prerogative. It's just, everything about this hobby is expensive. These engines are expensive. A Zenoa engine, which is based on Husqvarna engines, and they're basically weed eater engines modified for RC. They're expensive. I mean, I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head. I mean, they're probably at least $400 or $500. And then if you get the bigger G290 like I have in this machine here, those are vibrators. They're shakers, and you have to get them modified. So I sent that to BH Hansen to get it modified. They map, blueprint, they port them, they put a lighter piston in there, and when Al works his magic on modifying your engine, you're going to get back the smoothest possible running two-stroke engine that you can get. But it's just the nature of two-strokes. You're never going to completely eliminate the vibrations. All you can do is try to reduce them. So the engine itself, you're talking probably somewhere around $400, maybe $500, and then on top of that, you're going to spend another $300, $350 to get the engine modified for a smoother running engine. So you're easily talking up around $700-800 just for your engine. So as far as I'm concerned, I want to take care of my engine and make sure it's going to run the best it can possibly run for as long as possible. So that's really about it with fuels, and this is just my preference. There probably are still guys that use the Coleman lantern fuel. I don't think there's anything too derogatory or damaging for a two-stroke engine. It might run a little bit cooler. I don't know. Over the long haul, it might be kind of hard on the engine. So ideally, you want to use an actual gasoline, and 94 octane is really good. And I've been mixing 32-to-1 for 1 gallon. It's my ratio cup, and I have my fuel can back here, and every time I mix, I put the oil, and then I put the ratio 32-to-1, and then that way as my fuel can gets lower and lower and I fill it back up, it's already pre-mixed and ready to go. Up next, I'll be talking about what I've found in regard to the best synthetic two-stroke oil to put in your gasoline mixed for your RC helicopter.